Hey church, let's dive into Genesis chapter 3 together. Imagine the Garden of Eden. It's perfect, overflowing with beauty. God walks and talks with Adam and Eve. They have everything they could ever need. Can you picture it? This is where our story begins. A story about choice, consequence, and ultimately, God's unending grace. Now you know how stories go. There's always a twist. In Genesis chapter 3, we meet a cunning character, the serpent. He's smooth, using trickery and deception to plant seeds of doubt in Eve's mind. This isn't just a story about a fruit, y'all. It's a mirror reflecting our own lives. We all face temptations, those little voices whispering doubts and desires. This story reminds us that even in paradise, choices have consequences. But hold on, there's hope. Even in the midst of this fall, God's love shines through. So let's journey together through Genesis chapter 3, uncovering the timeless truths woven into this ancient narrative. Let's see how it speaks to our lives today. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say, 'You must not eat from any tree in the garden'?" Genesis 3, verse 1. The serpent, cunning and sly, approaches Eve. Notice, he doesn't come out with guns blazing. He starts subtly questioning God's words.
Did God really say?
He's planting seeds of doubt, twisting God's loving instructions into something restrictive. He appeals to Eve's curiosity, her desire for knowledge.
You will not certainly die.
See, the enemy loves to work in the shadows. He whispers half-truths, distorting our perception of God's goodness. He did it then, and he's still doing it today. He wants us to question God's love, his plan, his word. But we have to remember who God is. He is our creator, our protector, our provider. He wants what's best for us. Don't let the whispers of doubt drown out the truth of his love. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Genesis 3, verse 6. Now Eve is faced with a choice. The fruit, we're told, was pleasing to the eye and desirable for gaining wisdom. Temptation, y'all, it's real. It often looks appealing, even good.
Sighs. It does look good.
Eve allowed the serpent's words to take root in her heart. Doubt turned into desire, and desire led to disobedience. She took a bite, and then she offered it to Adam.
Hesitant. Are you sure about this?
This is a powerful reminder that temptation doesn't just affect us individually. It can ripple out, impacting those around us. Our choices have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for our relationships, our families, and even future generations. But here's the thing. God doesn't leave us hanging. He offers us a way back to him. He's in the business of redemption, of restoring what's been broken. Let's hold on to that hope as we continue this journey.
To the woman he said, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband and he will rule over you." Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Sin always has consequences. Adam and Eve's disobedience fractured their relationship with God and with each other. Paradise was lost. Pain, suffering, and death entered the world. God, in his perfect justice, pronounced judgment on the serpent, Eve, and Adam. But even in his judgment, we see his mercy. He promised a redeemer, one who would crush the serpent's head and restore what was lost. This is the heart of the gospel, y'all. God doesn't abandon us in our sin. He loves us too much for that. He makes a way for us to be reconciled to him, to experience forgiveness and new life.
Genesis chapter 3 is a story of loss, but it's also a story of hope. It reminds us that even in our darkest moments, God is with us. He's working all things together for our good, even when we can't see it. So what can we take away from this ancient story? First, be on guard against temptation. The enemy is still prowling around, looking for someone to devour. Second, remember that our choices have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. And finally, never lose sight of God's love and his promise of redemption. No matter how far we've fallen, he's always there, ready to welcome us back with open arms. Let's choose to walk in his light, to grow in our faith, and to share his love with the world.